And now for something completely different, we're taking a look at this thing in this episode of Airsoftology Reviews. That's right, bet you haven't seen one that looks like this. This is how the gun comes. This is the Falkor Defense Blitz. This is actually what the real gun looks like, and this is EMG's licensed version of it. And we're gonna be looking at this very unique gun that the real one is from a company in Kalispell, Montana. This one, of course, is coming out of the EMG team and made by APS. And if you guys had thoughts and a preconceived notion about APS, I want you to sit through this video, because I did too, and my mind changed very greatly after I finished this. But anyway, let's start with the externals in this gun. We're gonna talk about that, then we're gonna see how it shoots with a little chrono test, and we'll talk about the internals as well. It's an M4, but it's not another M4. This is the Falkor Defense Blitz, and it's very much its own unique beast. First off is this handguard. It is fat, it is beefy, it's M-LOK, it's licensed M-LOK. It's even got the little M-LOK license on here, but it feels really good in the hand. It's not too big. You can throw some rails on it, you can do whatever. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, this big blue muzzle device. In fact, they've got a couple different colors, I think, on the real one. I love this thing. It's gonna ship with an orange tip, but you can switch over to this, and I think it is super cool. You can also take it off and do a recessed suppressor. This gun is perfect for it. That rail is so fat and beefy. Most of the big suppressors are gonna fit right down there. It'll give you that nice look. But I love how open and airy this rail is, and that blue kind of got this cross section on it. It adds a little bit of a pop and crack to the gun. I just think it's such a cool touch for something that looks very different to turn some heads. The finish on this is this gray. It's kind of this satin metallic gray. Really very well done finishing on this. All the logos on here are like, well, on the receiver, they look like they're laser etched in, which is really nice. Actually, it's a cool touch. The body itself, the rail, I mean, they have like really good stuff. Printed rail markings across the top, full of rail space, tip to toe. You got all the space in the world. And then this unique body, this unique receiver that is uniquely Falkor Defense. The trigger guards in here, you get the logo, kind of this like the big Falkor logo here, laser etched in there. You got a unique serial number here on the side. You got all the Falkor stuff. You've got the full ambi controls. So, by the way, all you lefties out there are always asking for guns. Lefty and righty, so if you can do I can change the fire selector on the other side, and you can see it, safe semi-full, all laser etched in. Mag release, which is kind of small, but like a cool design. I don't know if you guys can see it. This little thing right here, this little triangle. Cool design. Got it on both sides, so you know the mag release. And then, of course, you even have the bolt catch here. So if you want to do it, the bolt catch release is on both sides. So even on the right-hand side here, you can do it. So you've got the bolt catch on both. Basically, for anybody and everybody, and this is what I love too. This bolt here, it even has a paddle on the bottom on both sides. So when you pull it down, you can hold the paddle to lock it back. So even for like airsoft use, you can do a bolt lock the right way without having to take your hand off. You can point, super cool. I love it. All the little great touches. It opens up to expose standard style hop up on here. Of course, if you guys want to change it, you can. It's standard, so it'll work with whatever. And a big skeletonized trigger down here below everything. Also here on the top, more logos laser etched, and this big, fat charging handle. I think it's so cool. It's like the double one. It's just got this really cool, not tactical, but like super custom rifle thing going on. I've kind of at first looked at this gun and said, but the more I looked at it, the more I started falling in love with it. I think it's such a cool design. And also to round everything out, in front of the magwell here, you get some like finger grooves. For those of you that like to do the old magwell grip, they've kind of accommodated you here for, I'm kind of more of this kind of guy, but if you're this kind of guy or girl, definitely it's set up there. And then last but not least, little finger rest grooves here where your finger sits just perfectly. So if you want to take a finger break or keep the finger off the trigger, which everybody gets mad about.
Well, that's my safety, sir.
Rounding out externals, moving to the back, you've got buffer tube here, and then this cool RS2 stock. I think the stock is pretty darn neat. Battery does go inside. There's one pin here, pops it off. You can hinge the stock down on there. In fact, I'll just go ahead and pull the pin out for you. On the back of this, you do have you can tell it's APS because it's got the APS logo right there on the back. That's kind of the tell on it. Hinge drops down so you don't lose this pad. Swivel sling, this is a removable and a QD one. You can press it and pop it out. Battery goes inside here, so definitely want to use a buffer tube style battery. Space is kind of limited. The fuse is in there, so it's going to be a little snug. You can also fit the buffer tube style battery here vertically. There's enough room in this little area. If you believe it, there's actually enough room to fit it in there and get it just fine. Or you guys can maybe do a different fuse setup inside there. I do like they still have the glass fuse on that. And if you want to take the stock off off. It helps if I put the pin back in. They even have easy to remove stock, kind of like a little pull here. So you have like a little finger rest here. You can grab and pull the stock off if you want to maybe access the battery or something like that, or you have to do any work on the gun that way. But if you do it, the stock's a little different design, so just be careful not to pinch it in the grooves there. All right, taking this thing to the chrono, I want to notice that before I even chrono, when I started shooting it, just kind of getting it prepped, it just sounds so smooth. The gun, it's smooth. Like I kept going, really? Who makes this? I mean, not saying APS is bad. I was just, usually they're a good manufacturer, but I was really impressed. It's like, man, this thing it just even sounds and feels like something that is very premium. And I'm really blown away. And of course, the chrono numbers were really good. Looking at the high 300s here, nice healthy numbers for outdoor field. You could always do the change on it, no problem. You can get in here, you can swap the spring out, no problem. Bring it down to whatever power level you want to bring it to make it work. But again, also on this, I think a little trade-off, I think the smoothness comes from a little bit of a torquey gear setup and a torquey motor. So your rate of fire on 11.1 LiPo, it's a great rate of fire, especially considering I don't really use full auto much at all in games, and most indoor fields don't even allow it either. Well, that's it. The Falkor Defense, the Blitz. This is a cool gun. I really walked into this review at first with one thing in my mind. I was like, and I walked out with, that's kind of it. So if you want my opinion, it went from to very interesting, cool look, and a lot more eye-opening than I expected. Definitely, if you guys and gals haven't done this, find it at your local shop. Go pick it up. Yeah, go get a hold of one of these, or just, if you think it's cool, click the buy button. I was very pleasantly surprised with all the stuff I found out with this gun, and again, I continue to do it. In fact, I even actually own one now, so that's kind of why I went ahead and made the investment into it. So if that counts for anything, for your guys' opinion, if you guys were on the fence on this one, I've even picked one up for myself. So anyway, but that's just me. Your opinions are welcome too. I want to know, do you guys like this? Do you like the non-tactical M4? This is more like the super hyper custom, almost like a sport shooting kind of vibe going on here. Definitely not your standard Milsim M4. What do you guys think? Is it cool? Do you like this kind of look? Is it a little too speed softy for you, or just a little too futuristic? I want to know in the comment section below. Also, guys, if you want to know more about this, as always, I have a link in the description below. Go click it and check it out. You can read more about it and all the specs and the fact sheet and all that. It comes in the magazine, high cap, all that, 300 round. Forgot to tell you about that. Polymer one that comes in the box. But anyway, if you guys want to know more, like I said, link is down below. And until next review, go out, play some airsoft, have some fun. But no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.